Hey guys, Metal Driver here, bringing you another WWE review. Today I'll be looking at the Wrekkin Slam and Spin ATV. Now, I've seen this in my stores for a little bit over a month, and every time I see this, I think to myself, man, this would be so cool for Stone Cold Steve Austin. But instead we get Big E. Now, I don't really think of Big E when I think of ATVs, although I do believe recently he's been featured on SmackDown with an ATV, so I don't know if this is some sort of directive from Mattel, because we did see this with the Wrekkin Slam motorcycle, the red one that came with Drew McIntyre, and then all of a sudden that same bike appeared in a storyline with Drew McIntyre. So it seems like they're trying to connect the product with actual product. But whatever the case may be, I am a fan of the Wrekkin Slam line. They've got some really cool vehicles. They're great for action figure photography, which is what I'm into, and they're great for other collectors that even if they're not into WWE, they could use this for their sets. So this packaging is really cool. It's got all these cool buzzwords and phrases: spinning handlebars, launching action, 6 breakaway pieces, bumper to bumper destruction, and some really cool imagery on the back of the box. Reminds me of a lot of those packaging from the Jakks Pacific days. So enough with the packaging, let's go ahead and open this up and take a closer look at the ATV and Big E. Alright, so here is the ATV and Big E out of the packaging, but let's look at Big E first. So looking at the head scan and on Big E, it's pretty good. I think it has a good likeness to how he looks. The paint for the most part is good, except for there is some extra paint on the nose. The eyes are painted well, the beard looks pretty good. The way the hair is sculpted looks pretty nice. So not a whole lot of paint detail on the head. And then I am recording this the morning after the injury that Big E had on SmackDown. So if you're not aware, he did take a nasty bump right on top of his head and broke his neck. So it sucks that that happened. So prayers out to Big E that he recovers and is able to get back into the ring. Again, it sucks that it happened to him because he's such a good guy. So hopefully he heals well. Looking at the body, this is a basic figure, so it's not going to have a whole lot of articulation or detail, but I think the sculpting looks good. It looks just like how Big E's massive upper body and chest should look. The paint on the attire looks really nice, so that looks really good. Same thing on the back. His legs look really good. Boots are just a solid purple, so again, that's basic articulation. So there is a hinge at the shoulder, rotates all the way around. There is a single jointed elbow. There is rotation at that elbow, swivel and hinge at the wrist. Head looks slightly up, slightly down, can turn side to side. There is no ab crunch, but there is a waist swivel. Legs only go up and down on a hinge. Well, not really back. There is a hinge at the knee, which is usually pretty tight on basics. So that's about as far as it goes. And then there is a swivel here at the boot. And then taking a look at the ATV, it looks pretty good. The detailing around the vehicle looks pretty nice. It's got good sculpt work all around. Not a whole lot of paint. It is mostly just a solid red with black parts and silver parts. No additional paint anywhere on those colors. But as I said, the sculpt work is really nice. And then you do have one sticker decal. So overall, it's a nice looking piece, especially for the price point. Would have been cool if it was in black. Because again, then I could use that with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because he had that period where he would come down to the ring in an ATV back when he was the co-GM of Raw, but red is fine, it's a good color. Now this does come with a manual that shows you all the pieces that come with the Slam and Spin ATV. Now I'm not gonna deconstruct this or break this apart. Didn't really purchase this so I can break it and destroy it. I bought this so I can use this in my action figure photography, but it is still cool that you can do that. It's got a lot of playability with this set, and it also shows you the different ways that you can use this. You can launch a figure, you can have a figure spin around, you can even detach the rack and put it into different places to give it a different look. So if you want to launch your figure, you can go ahead and slam or push down on the rack that's behind the ATV. Alright, the next gimmick with this vehicle, you can go ahead and put the figure here. You've got clips here that help secure the figure onto the handlebars. So even though they may have gripping hands, you still have these clips here, so that's nice. So you get them right onto the handlebars. So this next gimmick is the spin kick. So how that works is that you twist the steering mechanism right here, and the figure is able to spin back into place. So it's kind of a weak spin. It's not very strong, but let's go ahead and show that off. Here is the rock. So not a very good spin. That is the second gimmick to this. The third gimmick is that you can detach the back rack, which is right here. That's what you use in order to launch the figure that's on the back of the ATV. So that comes right off, and you can place it on top of the ATV or in the front, which gives the ATV a bit of a different look, a different style, so whichever you prefer, if you want it in the back, on top, or on the front. And the gimmick still works, so you don't really need the rack on the back, so it's all up to you on which you prefer. Alright, and then if you're curious to see how Stone Cold looks like on the ATV, here he is, flipping you off, or just telling you that you're number one. So what are my thoughts on this Wrekkin Slam and Spin ATV? I think it's a pretty cool piece. Now, this isn't really geared towards collectors, so if you're only into collecting elites and ultimate editions, and you don't really pose the figures or take photography, I don't know if you'd be interested in this unless you want to have Stone Cold displayed on an ATV. The Wrekkin line is honestly really geared more towards a younger audience. That's why it has all these cool gimmicks. It's very playable, but if you are into action figure photography, I think this would be a really cool vehicle and set to pick up. I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun taking photos of Stone Cold on this vehicle, and not only that, but if you're just into general action figure photography, but you don't do wrestling, you like to take pictures of Marvel Legends, DC, NECAs, Mezcos, this is a vehicle that can work in those photo sets. So again, unless you're into photography, this is probably something you'd want to skip, but I like it. I think it's cool. I think it serves for what I enjoy doing, so for that reason, I would say it's worth picking up. And it is out now. I've seen this in various different Targets and Walmart, so it's pretty easy to find. I've been a fan of the Wrekkin line, and I hope we get more and more vehicles, and this is a line that doesn't end anytime soon. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. If you want a chance to get a shout out in the next video, leave a comment down below. Just like Rickson Ramdeen said, in regards to my Brody Lee with the ratcheted shoulders, that the figure probably needs a hot bath. That may help make the full rotation. So that's some good advice. I think I'm gonna run those shoulders under some hot water. Follow me on social media so you can be up to date with all my wrestling figure photography. And I'll see you next time.